Hello. So, 26th, and it's like 8 o'clock here, so it's like 7 o'clock in the UK. And it's Sunday, and I've completed my. It'll be a week tomorrow since I've been here, and I've done my first few days at school, which is really good. Well, the first day I kind of just hopped in an art lesson, and Wednesdays are only half days in Belgium, so I kind of just went home at like 1. So yeah, and the next 2 days after that, Thursday and Friday, I sat in on a training session for SEN, which is special educational needs. I think I need to warm my mouth up because I've not spoken a lot today. I've just watched films on Netflix. So Wednesday I sat in on a English speaking art lesson. Well, I sat in on 3. So I'm in the secondary school part because that's kind of what I need to do for my portfolio with the age ranges and things like that. And so it was English speaking, so the year 6 would be like, they were like 16, so like in primary school it goes up like year 1, year 2, year 3, just as it would in the UK, and then your secondary school, that starts again, so it's secondary school, so it's S1, S2, S3, yada yada yada. But yeah, the kids were really cool, they're really chatty, and I just wanted them to know my face. I just didn't want to just dive in on there because you've got to build that kind of like relationship, I guess, with the kid. So yeah, the art lessons are really good. The teacher's really cool. She's fluent in pretty much every language, which I felt really inadequate because I only know like a few words of Dutch or a few words of German or something. So. But yeah, she kept flipping from one language to another. If there was a person that was in an English speaking class that didn't quite understand it, she was able to just translate, and so he'd understand the words and whatever she was saying. But yeah, so on Thursday I sat in, it's called the in-service training for the educational support coordinators of the ES, which is the European school. And it was a meeting with like deputy directors and people who organise the schools and organise the support people that are there for the children with special educational needs. And because the European schools are based all around Europe, they were able to like bring people from other places, and people were sharing information, people were sharing like all the plans and stuff. Like the school in Mol, which I am at, it has an ILP, which is an individual learning plan, and this is filled out by a teacher or by the support coordinators, who can then pass it on to teachers and pass it on to parents if they want to know and stuff. So it's like needs formulated by subject teachers, so that would be the teacher that they're in the lesson with, and then the needs formulated by the pupil, so the pupil actually gets a word in what they want to get out of it. And then it's topics, and then it's evaluations. So it's pretty much like a needs assessment form, in a way, but they're circulated, so the children, the parents, the teachers get them, so they know exactly what the needs of that young person are, and they can work on that accordingly, but they're all trained, or the teachers are trained to deal with things like that. And what is great about the European schools is that because the schools are quite expensive, they've got a lot of disposable funding, so most of the funding goes on the support and gaining the baccalaureate that the children need to have. But yes, it's a lot of based on like around the needs of the children and what they need from school and what they need from home and stuff. So it's they don't care about funding, they don't care about, like what results they're gonna get. They just care about the kids, which is really great and really refreshing. Like it's just really nice to see that, really. And the European school has like like you'd have in England, where you'd have like policies that you have to follow. Those policies are within the European schools, so the European schools throughout have their own policies, but those are very flexible because of the different countries' laws. So if one law in one country couldn't allow you to share the information, or couldn't, that kind of thing, like it's got to be in line with the law and in line with the European policies, which is quite hard if you think about it. Like it's just different in like every country, but they're all the same. But they recognise that differentiation and that difference they have to have between the schools, but also the similarity, so it's consistent. And so all the kids are working towards the baccalaureate, which they gain at the end of 7th year, I think. Well, the last year in high school anyway. Which is like, I guess, it's kind of like GCSEs, but it's not, it's different. But yeah, so they're all working towards that, and if a child was to transfer from one school to another, they'd be able to, and all the information would be passed on, because it's all of the same standard and it's all of the same policies and what have you, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that was Wednesday. No, that was Thursday. And on Friday I did sat in on some training about dyslexia, which is kind of the same people were there, but the deputy directors weren't. Yeah, the deputy directors weren't there. Just like support staff from the different schools all over Europe. And it, as I said, it was mainly focused around dyslexia and how teaching and learning different subjects can be manipulated to help those with the need. So there were lots of like sharing information, so information was put all over the walls from different schools, and they were showing like websites and ways to deal with the things. And one person, I can't remember her name for the life of me, but she mentioned something about a flip school. So the stuff they do in lesson and the stuff they do at home are completely flipped. So they'll have the lesson at home, and in lesson they'll have, say, like homework, but obviously it's not homework. So they'll sit with their friends, so they'll have there's like 4 classes, so there's like really, really good, quite good, not so good, poor. So all these levels of children, all these academic levels of children, should I say, they're all sat together, so there's one from each group. So a really good person is sat with a not so good person, and the quite good person is sat with the not so articulate person. So they kind of help each other. It's like a peer mentoring group, I guess. And then the lessons are all online, so they'd access them, and it's kind of like an interactive lesson where they'd view it and there'd be like drawings and writing and stuff. It wouldn't be the teacher, it would be her voice, so they'd be able to hear it and then see it, so they can do it in their own time and do it in their own, when they're in the zone, I guess. I mean, I was quite like, I didn't necessarily agree with it as such. I wouldn't, maybe agree is the wrong word. I didn't see the need for it, I guess. But when she went into it further and she showed us the lessons and she showed us how it works and the proof that it had worked, I was kind of like, okay. But everything can be critiqued and everything, I guess, can be made better by something. So maybe in the future there'll be something like that in all schools and it'll just work like magic. So the training with dyslexia was really interesting. Like, I learnt some things that I didn't think of, like the ways of dealing with it and the ways of being able to enable the young people to learn to a level that is going to benefit them, even though they suffer with dyslexia or dyscalculia or whatever. And then in the afternoon of that, there was a session about delivering a good training session, which I was able to contribute because I knew things I'd attended training sessions before, and ones that had been boring, ones that had been good. So I just spoke about motivation, and I think they were quite taken aback by that because they know I'm a student and I was only there to listen, but I did feel like I had something to contribute, so I did. And I don't think anybody should feel like anybody else is better than them just because I guess they have more experience or they're published or whatever. Like, if you've got something to offer or you've got a good idea and you want to share it, I mean, if it's positive, then why not? I mean, there's nothing wrong with being critical about something either. Like we had with a conference that we went to in Northampton, like, people on my course will know that just because someone has written a book or someone who is got a high profile, I guess, that doesn't mean that their word is law, if that makes sense. I mean, there's always room to challenge things, and there's always people that are gonna challenge you, so if you believe in something or if you have something to offer, then offer it. I don't think anybody should be scared of that, I guess. This has taken a whole new deep level and I don't know why. But yeah, I know I've got something to offer, and I know that my experiences will not be shared by other people. Like, everybody is an individual, and if I've got a good idea, I kind of want to use that idea and suggest that idea, even though if someone else might not think it's a good idea, then maybe that can be challenged or whatever. But yeah, I think even though these videos aren't to give tips and they're just to talk about my experience, I think that is a number one tip. Don't be afraid to challenge it. Anything else that anybody else says, regardless of status. And if you feel in your heart that you have a good idea or you want to pursue something, then go and do it, because life's too short to just let people mess stuff up. I'm saying that really calmly and without swearing. but you know what I mean. So yeah, so next week is a new week. I'm excited to maybe even suggest a new learning project, or I don't know, just get more involved. I've just been sat in classrooms observing for the moment and doing training sessions, so I'm looking forward to getting stuck in and showing them what Derby Uni students can do, I guess. It's a bit cheesy though, isn't it? But yeah, I feel it's going to be a good week, and I hope it's a good week for everybody else. Yeah, so good luck, guys. Recall day for us is on Friday, so hopefully I should be able to Skype in for them, but if not, you'll get to see my videos and you get to see my face on there on YouTube. But yeah, look after yourselves. See you later.